Hello and welcome. We're looking for $2 million homes in Wyoming this week. And it's so cool to learn about the different states while you're doing this. Wyoming is the least popular state of America, even less than Alaska, even less than the District of Columbia. It's got roughly over 500,000 people, and it only has 6 people per square mile. So if it's a place you want to get away, this would be it. So here we go. First step. The thing about it is Jackson, Wyoming, on the western side of down here, is very popular with jet setters and celebrities and stuff. So this whole western side has started to get more and more expensive, and it's starting to move east. So some of the houses don't quite the money doesn't quite catch up. But this one I thought was pretty nice. It's definitely a good start to get away from it all. It had 8 acres. So even though you just own 8 of the acres, there's a woodland area around, so it actually feels much more secluded than 8 acres. It's a serviceable inside, but what you get is in a lot of Wyoming, you're paying for the land and some of this new markup, like I was talking about. But it's definitely functional interior, nothing fancy. But I really liked it, and it was a good start to it. So, moving on. The next house. So, if you have a slide, you get on the list. Actually, I like the first house better, but this had a slide. So, this is more in the eastern side, close to Casper, Wyoming. And it just kind of was, I guess you could call it big barn shaped. It's also got a spiral staircase on the inside. That it's just all pretty much open concept, because the top is pretty much one big room, with some little bedrooms off to the side. So again, if you want to just get away, this is another opportunity to do that. This one is just kind of what I'm talking about, because this is located on the western side, not too far from Jackson. It's actually is next to the Bridger-Teton National Forest, so you're kind of connected to it, but they go out of their way not to show what's in the cabin, so that should kind of tell you something. So it's just, if you want something in the Tetons, you could get it, but it'll cost you $2 million, and that's the kind of markup that is starting to happen on the west side of Wyoming, at least from what I saw. Next up, this one is also kind of in that west side area, and it had, I think, 12 acres, and the house is plain, and it's just flat. It's like farmland flat, but it had a big barn, so big barn's all right. So it's like the interior of what you would see in a not $2 million home. I mean, it's not bad. The staircase is nice. It did a little bit more than they had to do, and it's functional. It's got bedrooms, and they're kind of honest about the winters in Wyoming, so that's nice to post those pictures. But there you go. Again, west side markup. This one, it was in Cody, which I kind of like that area a little bit better. It was the biggest, quote, town just outside the eastern entrance to Yellowstone, but it had, all your fast food. I don't know if it had a Walmart, but it had other amenities. So, but this again was another just kind of plain land area. I did like the fireplace. It's kind of in a weird spot though. the way they have it, and big old bear rug on the wall. Isn't that crazy? So again, I mean, if you don't got anybody right next to you, that's what you're looking for, and views of the mountain. There you go. So this is kind of getting to maybe the heart of Wyoming. This was just funky. This just got thrown in because, and this is over on the kind of southeastern edge. It was just different to another place to get away, but this is only 2 hours away from out of Denver, so you could come in from the north and also get down to the Rocky Mountains real quick. So That was pretty cool. So I thought in that aspect, and this house was just funky. It's wow. I mean, you just want to make sure nobody's messing with you. You can see for miles and miles and miles. And if you want to start your own little religious compound, you can do it here. Uh, the interior, it's interesting, and I'd like to know the story behind some of this. But definitely open concept. You could have a big party around here. They have all this space, so I appreciate different, and this is different. So there you go. You could have, but it doesn't have anything terribly funky. Like this is the theater room, but it's and a little workshop and distant views of stuff. So nothing too crazy, but just definitely different. And if you need 15,000 square feet, you got it. Moving on. So this is just your prototypical log cabin in Wyoming. Just had to throw one of these in. And I believe, yes, it was on the west side. So that's what kind of pushes up the cost of it. I don't think it was many acres. Like, oh, it did have 20. So there you go. Shut your mouth. So, the log cabin, Wyoming feel, cute little kitchen. So it was fun. The bathroom from a window, which, yeah, of course. And just 20 acres is plenty of space to roam. So a separate garage. So nice. Oh, that's right. This was it kind of had this funky thing going. So here's your 20 acres. So you got a little bit of stuff behind you, but all this grass here, which I guess if you need a baseball field or a soccer field or two or football field, you got it. So there you go. Room to put in a big pool. So moving on. So this was again, and that's kind of the vibe of Wyoming, is just if you want to get away from people. So this one had 77 acres, and it's got kind of like this little area that's kind of been watered, and the rest of it's kind of very sparse. The interior is all right. It's definitely functional. It's nothing too modern. It's really, I would call it cozy. Not too big, but again, a nice little getaway. This was located kind of in the Cody area too, so you just take this little road into Yellowstone. So it would be a good. This would be a great one. You could get the house and then get an airstream and just go into Yellowstone all the time. So that would be a nice combo, and plus get away from everybody. So this one is if you needed Wyoming, and this was in Cody, so it's not too far again from Yellowstone, but you needed a little bit nicer house, and they didn't have too many modern houses in this price range. There's one of these houses I saw that like they were wanting $1.6 million, and the houses around them were $200,000. So it's like somebody's just shooting for the moon and trying to get a big price for their house. So this house has an area for your RV, and you could get one for this. It kind of, the back of it just looks like it used to be the clubhouse for the golf course. It's on a golf course, and it's just kind of weird. You have this lush green area, and then everything else is kind of a little bit barren and scrub-like. The interior also kind of looks like it was one time a clubhouse or something, or at least it's set up for lots of people, and a party's community space. The thing that got me was this is one side of the fireplace, and this is the other. It's like a Victoria thing going on here with the fireplaces, just back and forth. It just kind of cracked me up. It's like, what style do you want? All the styles. I want all the styles. So again, I appreciate them doing different things, but this is a little bit, and yet they likes their fireplaces in here. You gotta have your fireplaces. I actually like the stone one probably the best. So it, none of these places had pools, and definitely no indoor pools. I mean, so just has a clubhouse feel. So you could have a big party here. There's a big fire pit and a view of the golf course. So um, that's kind of your choice. That if you needed kind of a newer, nicer house to go along with the outdoor feel of the Wyoming. But my favorite one was this guy, and this guy is just not too far. You're like half an hour from Cody, so restaurants and grocery stores and stuff. But you're really the closest house I could find going into Yellowstone. So I just thought that would be a great opportunity. And just behind this house is, you own the land that goes up to these rocks. So that's just awesome. And then you can in here, the house itself is pretty. It's definitely not a $2 million house, but it does have $2 million views, and that's kind of what you're going for. And so that's your view out the window. So that's just spectacular. And so plenty of areas to walk and get around, and there's space in here, and this looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Just a very cool view of so like there's a house and there's so you could just it just, to me, it just was the essence. It was the essence of Wyoming, and the whole getting out to nature and being tough and rugged and outdoors. It just was everything that when I think of Wyoming, it speaks to me. So I hope you enjoyed those. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and take care.